Because it's a lot easier to see them, their true potential in action when you actually have more of them. So let's just pull up. Yeah, why not use this one that I have the most level in? Can't use the. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. This is the battle mode. This is actually a really cool mode. It's one of the few times that there's actually multiplayer in an RPG. Typically how it works is, if you have two Game Boy Advances and a link cable, you plug them together and this lady here will let you know that you're about to connect to another person, and you can actually have a 3-on-3 battle against another person. When you don't have a link cable, it just gives you a random battle gauntlet. So let me see if I can showcase a little better just how quickly Djinns can change things around. I put everyone on standby so you can basically see what everyone would look like, what their default classes would be, even if they were this high in level without any Djinns. It's a pretty solid moveset. We got more advanced versions of Quake that we saw early on. We got better healing. Garrett has a lot more fire power. Ivan, ignore the names I actually gave them, and Mia are the wind and water users specifically. So they got some nice healing. But let's see how some Djinns can change things around. First of all, this might take a little hot minute, but I want to put everyone in the default classes to see just, even if you're not being too experimental and you just match up people with their elemental alliance, give all the Earth Djinnis to the Earth guy, and etc, etc, they can still get some pretty interesting things from the higher classes. Hopefully I'm not boring anyone too much, but since I want to do this, upload this to YouTube eventually, I want to make sure I'm as thorough as I can with showing exactly how it's affected. So we're not changing classes here, and you can see the single Djinni is already giving a pretty significant boost to Mia's stats here. So even without class changes, Djinni are incredibly useful to have on set. We got no new skills here, but we got a new class upgrade with 2 of them, and the stats boosts are significantly better. And when we get to 4, we get access to Wish, which won't say here, but it's like Ply, but it applies to the whole party. So it's a very good healing spell. And then all the party members kind of have a similar feel. We actually get that Reagan Rock we saw is probably one of the most powerful single base attacks, but now I might be mixing up with the second game, because I don't think you can get, because you can't get quite enough Djinni in this game to unlock the second form, but there's a second form. And meanwhile, now that I have all these party members on set, let's show just how drastically different they are. Ivan's got these boosts to resistance, weird moves that allow you to block synergy, and all that, as well as access to fire moves, even though he's a wind adept. And all because the class we gave him has a little more focus around fire Djinni, so he becomes a little more fire focused. Similar situation with Isaac here. Isaac is a bit more unorthodox. And that's been forever and a half, but I kind of want, I can think of a class in particular I would love to showcase. But I'm not sure if I have the Djinn I would need to pull it off. Okay, that puts me in more of the fire focus. This makes me more on the water side. Oh! There's the class that I'm looking for. Yeah, you can actually be in literal ninja in the game, and there's a couple other classes like this that have really unique moves, but I think the ninja is the most obvious example. You got Gale, which is kind of like the same as Whirlwind, which is one of Ivan's default wind moves, but it's kind of cool to actually like get a move that functions exactly like it, but in the class change. And then you got like all these ninja-inspired move pools in the mix of all that. Why don't we take a couple of these classes for a test ride? So this is the Monster Gauntlet. Like it's nice that it's there, but it's real hard to like showcase the true potential of it because it's basically just a randomized battle gauntlet, and you just get thrown against. And you just keep getting all these enemies over and over and keeps going until you die. But it can last more likely you'll give up out of boredom before you're likely to get knocked out. I mean, I guess if you're super careless, you can. But at these higher levels, it's definitely more likely to be the case. Oh, hey, Mango. I think, like, I recognize the name. You saying Magno from Twitter? Oh wow, we're actually getting a boss on the second enemy. Like, I haven't seen that happen so soon. But at least now I can like showcase Djinni's in a more proper effect. Alright. HP. Cool. Yeah, nice to see you here. For anyone coming in, I went for like the first hour and a half to get through all the prologue in Golden Sun. But considering we only just got Flint at the end of it, and while I was planning on ending the stream soon, but I didn't want to end it before showcasing exactly just the Djinni in action, a more proper full action. So I figured I'd just bring in the Battle Gauntlet and play around with that, so I can actually see like we have Djinnis that like steal synergy, and we actually stop him from attacking because of that. It's actually incredibly convenient for the stream that we got a boss this early on, because now I actually have to think about what I'm doing, which is a little shame because I only just started paying attention like this turn, but it's fine. We got all the Djinni in this file, so we got all of the I just noticed that my mic was kind of exactly right on top of the chat window, so it kind of made it a little harder to see. Wow. I don't even feel like I'm using 1% of my power. And just look how badly we decimated this thing. Might play through the first two on stream, and yeah, the prologue can drag on. Yeah. A little unfortunate that like I have a pretty full YouTube stream schedule, because I'd love to like continue this on additional streams, but I want to wait until I at least get through some of the other things I've been doing, like Pokemon Coliseum Randomizer and the YouTube series that I started before picking this up. But it is definitely something on mine, and with the anniversary of Golden Sun tomorrow, I want to at least showcase this game for its proper release. Yeah, I mean, I have Judgment ready to go. I might as well use it and throw it into the mix. Alright. But yeah, I definitely am gonna go back to Golden Sun eventually. It may take longer than I like, but I definitely do want to revisit Golden Sun sometime in the future. And I just forgot how this boss was so vulnerable to all these status effects. Like, I don't even know if it's attacked yet. Yeah, I don't even know if this thing has had a chance to attack, just like unleashing both the Sleeping Djinn and the Stun Djinn one after another. But I think now you can at least see just how useful they are. Like, you kind of got a gauge of how, like, how the synergy works, even though we had early spells. And just, like, how the Djinn are able to add their own thing into the mix, despite the fact that, like, here's a pretty unique ability. This one allows you to, like, give another player a second turn. And that really, like, changes things up quite a bit. Yeah. I guess I'm not surprised that a lot of people are streaming Golden Sun right now. And of course, like, if the anniversary tomorrow, it only makes sense that a lot more people would be going through it. Yeah, and I've heard the stories of the Kraken being so easy to put to sleep, but it's been a long time since I fought this one. Like, I know, like, he's kind of more... Oh, look at that, I was just about to talk trash about him, thinking, like, he's kind of easy. One of the easier bosses in the game. And optional, too. And then then I realize he has a move that just puts you down to 1 HP no matter what. A little awkward, because I usually, like, if I'm actually properly prepared for a boss fight, I always try to make sure I have Wish on my side, but I got a little careless. And I don't even know if, like, I have an arrangement that could properly give me that this time. Do I at least have... I can at least throw Granite up in the mix until I get everything more in order. That's good. Yeah, it's not my ideal setup, but I think we'll be fine. He's not final boss hard material, it just might take a little bit. Granite's an incredibly useful Djinn anyways, because it, like, kind of acts sort of like Protect, where it negates a lot of the damage you take instead of just being a... It only lasts for the 1 turn, but basically cuts any damage you do in half. So a lot of people... So pretty much an ideal time to use it is when you're in a pinch and you need to buy time to get yourself up and healthy. And you got this guy that stops them, and I'm so close. I might as well just throw one more Djinn so we can do a full-fledged summon in the mix. Currently on the file in your original cards, you have Djinns. So Mia's a Water Monk, Isaac's a Conjurer, Garrett's a Berserker, and Ivan's a Sage. Yeah. From what I remember, Conjurer's another interesting one. Like, it wouldn't be something I would use in a traditional playthrough, just because, like, I'm not so used to using, like, curses and debuffs and things like that, because I'm so used to enemies not being vulnerable to them. So it's certainly convenient to actually have someone that is. What am I doing? I have like 4 summons ready to go. Yeah, if this doesn't like speed things up with, yeah, you know what? Just so we can have the water summon ready to go next turn. I'm gonna just do that. Bane. You know what? With all the other things this guy's been vulnerable to, he's probably vulnerable to being poisoned as well. So why not? Let's just throw that into the mix and see how it goes. Right. Again, I know he's a boss, but I didn't think he'd last this long. Then again, I'm more used... There we go. I'm used to, like, things taking a couple turns and being done. Yeah, that was good timing, I gotta admit. Oh, hey! I guess the game overheard me talking about there not being enough bosses in this battle gauntlet. Cause, hey, here's another one. Right here in handy. When I don't really think there's too much I can do right now. So you actually have Wish. I really miss Wish. At least I feel like I've been pretty good at keeping up at full health on my own. Don't have to worry too much about being left in a bad state. And I'm gonna try not using items just because I know they don't actually get used up, but it doesn't hurt to have. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, one playthrough, this guy was always the first opponent in the arena. North American release was November 11, 2001, but most people refer to the Japanese anniversary date. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And that would also explain why this was a Christmas present, and why I felt like I got this game so soon after its release, despite the fact I got it at Christmas. I completely overlooked the fact that the Japanese release date is drastically different from the North American one. And okay, perfect timing to have this Djinn ready. Do I have any more healing Djinn, or am I gonna have to like eat my words when I was talking about how I wasn't going to use items? Possibly anyone have Ply or something like that? I will make do with Cure. Potion, Cure, do I at least have a Djinn that could give me a little bit of health? Because, I mean, I definitely have items that I could use, but I don't know if I'd be jumping the gun to actually go that way. Like, it'd be more fun of a challenge to try to do it without the items, because it's definitely possible. Especially if I actually took the time and care to actually set up my arrangement properly, so I would actually be able to have Wish on one of the classes. Yeah, this is definitely a good Christmas present. I can miss the story that, like, I kind of wish I wasn't as young so I could remember a little bit better the backstories of how I got Golden Sun. A lot of my memories boil down to remembering getting in on Christmas and then going for that prologue. And man, that certainly had an impact. Just having something like that so early on. Especially because, like I said, Pokemon was the first game. Before Golden Sun, Pokemon was the only RPG I really played, and honestly, like, even now, I don't really play too many RPGs outside of it. I have played Persona 4, and there's probably a couple other RPGs I have not thinking of at the moment. But this is like the game that introduced to me what a non-Pokemon RPG would kind of be like. So that's probably a lot of impact of it in itself. Also, there's the factor that I keep overlooking of how I actually had like Monster Rancher and Golden Sun on that Christmas, and how I unfortunately don't know what happened to the Monster Rancher game. I lost it when I was fairly young, so I didn't even get to play that game too much. But at least I had this one. No, I know, I've been spending so much time talking, I completely overlooked the fact that I had 2 summons ready to go. So weird that Ruby and Sapphire came out after Golden Sun. I mean, like, I can see why you think that, but at the same time, like, it felt normal to me, like, probably because I was already so deep into Pokemon, and kind of made sense that, like, the GBA Pokemon a little more familiar to me. I'm not sure what I'm trying to get at. I'm not too surprised, but it's also something I haven't really thought about too often. Like, if you were to ask a question, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you if I probably wouldn't have been able to answer it until you already told me. Hey, Monster Rancher Advance, a whole book where I write down codes for Monster. Yeah, it's really a shame that I really didn't get a good opportunity to actually explore that game, because from the little bit I remember playing of it, that was literally the worst person that could go down right about now. The little bit I did play of Monster Rancher I remember was fun, but also I was a kid. I think worst case scenario, I do still have the Djinn that can revive handy, but I think like surprised none of my setups actually can revive either. You know what? What I got to lose? At least I got the ninja class here, and really, here we go, Quartz. The problem with Djinn's reviving is I remember a lot of them not being guaranteed. Also helps that I think the revive spell actually fully revives them. Never really got far into the story. I was a kid, so I didn't really have a way to do the unlocks thing. And I assume we're still talking about Monster Rancher there. And yeah. Ironically, I've probably seen more of the PlayStation Monster Rancher than oh, of course now I get Revive. Better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, I get the Monster Rancher. When it comes to that game, I've seen more of the PlayStation one because it was apparently a childhood game of a streamer that I used to watch. And they spent a good stream just playing that game. And there was a lot of fun, like, little in-jokes with the community that came out of it. It was kind of a fun time overall. Recall from the now rare Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Christmas sale at GameStop. Oh, that Path of Radiance. Yeah, that's a mess of itself. You know, there's something ironic about Ivan being the one alive, carrying the team, and Mia being the one I have to constantly be reviving. It's obviously all in my negligence, but I think anyone who plays Golden Sun well enough can appreciate the irony of this mess. And I'm gonna be Johnnin, but I do feel like I have a lot of excuses that I'm just like paying attention to chat more than I am the game. And happy anniversary to you too, Magno. Thanks again for stopping by. Take care. Hope you have a good night. Alright. Because it would be good timing too, because I would like to finish the stream after this battle. It's just unfortunately for my goals with the time restraint, we just so happened to got stuck in 2 boss fights in a row. Oh, man, I really just want to use an item, but I told myself I wouldn't use items. We can be fine. I just gotta stop forgetting that I have a Judgment Summon ready to go. I guess it doesn't help that I'm like constantly like just trying to survive. But you know what, right there, I could have just done a Judgment Summon instead of whatever the heck I thought was better to do and be in a lot better shape. But I guess at least I'm not just breezing through it this way. All right, there's Revive. Unfortunately, okay, it's better than nothing. This gym will at least keep me protected until I can get the healing gym off. I just realized because it's gonna be revived and not have the boost of Flash. Hopefully, he just doesn't get attacked and we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, but I think you saw there, like, our Garrett of this dimension took like 103 while everyone else was taking only double digits, if even that. I think hopefully that gives you an idea how powerful Djinn's like Granite and Flash are. Alright. I might as well throw another Ember in the mix. Might as well, well, health is low and all that. Are you the only one that can heal though? Because I don't want to be constantly trying to revive people. I want to be on the other end of that for once. I don't know if that will really help me because the synergy isn't really the problem. Well, maybe it is. It does have a few synergies, but I find myself struggling more against them. non-synergy moves that it was throwing my way, but it was worth a shot at the very least. Okay, come on, Judgment. Flash is a lot more effective than Granite, but they do the same thing mostly. It makes sense. Flash does come after Granite, so I guess I remember that. I didn't remember them doing the same thing, but I'm not surprised that the Prior would be more effective. I just remembered that they have the same general effect. Alright. I mean, might as well heal someone. And I don't have any Summon Ray, so this might help me out in the long run. Kind of weird that, like, still feels a little weird that this boss is putting up as much of a fight as it has been, considering, like, this is a file of a game that I've beaten basically at the final boss, and I've just been grinding every now and then since then. Alright. Would love to buy some time to get Mia back up on her feet. Cool, we got the ninja class back again. I'm gonna take advantage of that while I still can. Even though I should probably heal. It feels like I've been cycling through Djinn so quickly I haven't even really been able to showcase the move at all. Alright. It does make me wonder just how much more this thing could possibly have. Do I summon now just to get that out of the picture? Torch, Smog, Scorch. I guess if I use Scorch, then I can do a level 3 summon, which is a little better. I remember Shuriken being pretty good, but more so as a range attack. Annihilation, attempt to annihilate full. I don't think that would work on a boss. Like, if I knew it was vulnerable to Delusion, I'd try that, but this does seem to be the best thing I have. You know, it doesn't feel like you have healing moves that often. I'm gonna just heal up while I have the opportunity to do so. Oh, there we go. I don't think I want a stronger monster than that last one. Feels a little weird to have 3 beat the record, but